All right. What is up, everybody? Feels great to be back. We had a really big weekend, um, especially Josh and I, because we commentated the Hong Kong event, the Blitz Battle Hardened, and the CC Classic Constructed event. We had so much fun doing so, especially the climactic ending that didn't go the way that a lot of people probably wanted. So that was, but it was still like the adrenaline was pumping. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. Um, but it was a ton of fun, right? There, we did it off of. We had an iPhone in Hong Kong, right? Feeding us video on Discord, and then like Josh's computer streaming, like that's why it was like a bumpy start, obviously. And then we kind of stabilized at the end. Shout out to Mansan as well for helping us out with that. It was huge help. And then also real happy that he's going to be in Atlanta doing that coverage as well for MinMax. Super excited about that. The coverage is always like fantastic. And so just to so the event was amazing. It was a lot of fun to be able to commentate some of the best players over in that area, and had some phenomenal play. Had some lesser meta decks in the beginning. We had like some Decimator Axe stories, stuff like that, and it was interesting to see. So I'm gonna go over what we are going to go over for the stream today. Also to note, there will be no stream next week. This is due to I'm flying out for Vegas Wednesday morning, trying to get there a little early, get some practice in, stuff like that, just get settled, rested, that kind of thing. So no stream next week. So this is it until after Nationals, right? And then also after Battle Hard in Atlanta, which I will be in attendance. No surprise, I will be bringing Briar to Atlanta. We're gonna try it. I mean, I don't think it's the best pick, but somebody's gotta get the last 2 points. So we're gonna play that for the Battle Hardened and the PTI event. And so for the stream today, because we're not doing a stream next week, I really wanted to like open the floor for people. If they have any questions at any time during the stream, please just ask any question you want. I would love to visit. It doesn't have to be relevant to what we're doing or anything like that. If it's what I'm going over as far as nationals, I'll get to it whenever the time's convenient, right? But please, if you have any questions about anything, throw it in chat. I would love to answer it, talk about it, whatever the case may be. As far as what is the direct topic for today, I'm going to be talking about what you should be expecting at your nationals, both meta relevant stuff, also looking at things you need to have a plan for. So we're going to talk a little bit about meta. We're going to talk about things you need to have a plan for, and maybe some ideas to deal with those plans, right? I'm not just going to tell you, be ready for Lexi, like, no shit. We know that, right? So I'm going to try to give everybody as much information as I possibly can to be ready for that event. And also, if you do see me at Nationals or Atlanta, please say hi. Always enjoy talking to everybody. It's always a fantastic time to see everybody, talk with everybody. Always enjoy it. Let's see. See you there. Awesome. Riding with Damien. Sweet. Think Briar's okay? I think she's okay. That's how I feel about her. I don't think she's a bad pick. I don't think she's a particularly great pick. I think she is perfectly okay. How afraid of koalas are you? You're gonna have to define that for me. I'm drawing a blank. Hope you get the last points. Me too. It would be awesome. That'd be a heck of a year if I get the spoiler card, the specialist spoiler card for the hero, and then also close it out. That would be sick. Let's see. Just waiting for another Icelander versus Briar match. I will definitely get one of those in today. I'll definitely like specifically request it. Smurf Fab. That sounds familiar. Is that you, Kevin? Let me know if that's you, Kevin. What side events are you aiming for in Vegas? Well, hopefully, I won't be playing any side events. My game plan. You'll get it in Atlanta. Oh, okay. I got you. So hopefully I'm not doing any. Good to see you, Kevin. Thanks for joining us. So hopefully I'm not playing any side events. I'll actually be 100% honest. I don't think I've ever played a side event. Holy shit. I don't think, because I've never went to a tournament and not made day 2. It's never happened. I'm trying to think. Yeah. It's always like I always make day 2, and depending on the record, I either switch to the calling or whatever the case may be. And then, yeah, for the calling, I've never not day 2'd the calling. So never really had a reason to dabble in the yeah. I didn't mean it as like a bragging way, but I've just never played a side event. I just haven't. I've been very fortunate to I've heard so much about shapeshifter. Sorry. Especially like the Kadachi Dori. Like that seems like so much fun. And I did sit there and watch like a whole game of somebody playing it at, I want to say it was Indianapolis. I kind of like paused and like watched people play it or whatever. And it looked really fun. It looked really fun. That is something that yes, I didn't mean it like that, guys. I promise. But that is something I'm gonna look forward to, right? If it does happen, when it happens, not if. It will eventually happen. We can't, but I'll definitely give some shapeshifter a try. It'll be the first side event I ever play, and I'll tell you how much I enjoyed it during the next stream. Shapeshifter. I'll be playing Vinset for CC, awesome, and then Emperor for Blitz. I've heard some good things about Blitz, or about Emperor in Blitz specifically, and thank God Drone is gone. Like Brian Gottlieb killing it over there, supporting the game, making great decisions. So yeah, that's definitely. I really want to play some Shapeshifter now. Now that you got me talking about it. See, Mara knows all about it. Mara knows, but she's like top 8ing. I'm just day 2ing. That's the difference there. Just gotta humble myself there. Oh no, Mara's an amazing player, and I am also looking forward to seeing Mara in Atlanta because she made a rune chant that represents all 4 rune blades, and I'm picking up in Atlanta. I'm super excited about that. I just needed, because I'm not 100% sure that when Briar goes, I'll stick on the rune blade train. I might, depending on the situation. You're too busy killing Icelanders with Rusted Relic to play Shapeshifter. We might have to run Rusted Relic back, dear Nats. Who knows? We might have to do something. Nah, I'm just kidding. Who needs Rusted Relic when you got AB2 on the chest, right? Who needs it? Who needs it? Draft a flame scale and fatigue everyone. I bet. Hasn't dropped you as a testing partner because you need to stop using her crossplay. Yeah, she's got some sick alters for sure. She does great work. Super excited about seeing it in person. Oh, Smoke, congrats on doing the commentary over at Nationals, bro. That's so sick. What's the chances we can see you in the Starvo hat while you commentate? 1 to 10. What's our chances? We got to see you in that big poofy Starvo hat from the video. We got to see it. That would be hilarious. Sitting there commentating, you got the mustache on and the big hat, bro. That would be it. That would be it. All right. So let's go ahead and dig in. Like I said, if anybody's got any questions, I'll stop real quick, answer it. Oh, 5 out of 10. Okay. Okay. So you're saying that there? So you're saying there's a shot? That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Now you and Sam, you guys are gonna kill it. You guys are gonna kill it. So what we're gonna be talking today about is nationals. We're gonna be talking about nationals. We're gonna talk about what to expect, a little bit of meta stuff, not too much, and then yeah, let's just dig right into it. Okay. So currently in the meta, I would make the argument that most people think that Lexi is best deck. However, they think that Icelander is either on par or very close. Okay? Do I think they will print any more 4-block D-Reacts like Sync Blow or Fate? I don't think they will. I think they will make more niche D-Reacts, but just blanket 0 for 4 reds. No, because you get to a critical mass where people can just slap them in their deck, and you can start making like half D-React decks and like half, I don't know. They need to be 0 for 4 red D-Reacts that have no downside need to be treated with like, there don't need to be that many. They don't need to be that many. 34, 60 ceiling. I'm guessing you're referencing the the video. Yeah. I think that Lexi is best deck, and then Icelander is either on par, given the right Icelander, right? Icelander is one of those tricky decks where you can't just say the hero's great, because it really takes somebody that, as we saw in the last stream, somebody that's not me to make the correct series of decisions to really maximize the value from that hero. And that takes a lot of reps. You have to know exactly what your opponent's deck's trying to do and what winning looks like and how to execute it. And it's a lot easier said than done. Whereas Lexi, I'm not saying it's a simple deck to play. Scratch that. I am saying it's an easy deck to play. Okay? Ever since Bullseye Bracers left the format, most of the Lexi decisions are very simple. The only decision-making process truly are like those intricate spots on when you use Voltaire, right? To like avoid disruption of some type. That's kind of like where you can like min-max, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Bullseye Bracers, really, that piece of equipment is where a lot of decision points were made. And unfortunately, those are gone now. Well, fortunately, those are gone now. And that's where I believe the deck to be, right? I think it's a lot easier to play. Somebody has a way easier chance to just bring Lexi, play it rather well, than bring Icelander. Okay. So let's say you're on board with playing the quote unquote best deck. Okay. For the beginning of the conversation, we'll assume that is Lexi. Okay. So let's assume you are playing Lexi at Nationals, or you are planning to do so. Here's some things that you need to look out for. Or if you are trying to develop a game plan into Lexi, what are some things that you can incorporate to catch them off guard? Okay? Because the reason that I want to talk about Lexi first is straight up, there's no deck in the format that can compete with her on value. Like, not counting disruption, right? Just strict, like, if you put two decks and they were forced to say no blocks every single turn and they were just slapping each other, Lexi is by far the best deck. And even better than Phi, like, I guess that's the wrong way to say it, because you could, like, say Mask of Momentum draws a card every turn. Yeah, okay, sure. When you incorporate the Lexi blocking with 2 cards for 6 damage every 3 of a kind and stuff like that, then Lexi actually utilizing her blocking, which is what makes her so good, she is the best deck in the format as far as, like, from a value perspective while not being disrupted. And so you just can't compete on that axis. I think if you're going into the game and you're saying, look, I'm going to race this deck, I think you're probably approaching the matchup wrong. Even Briar, like you're asking the question, what about Briar? What makes Briar different than Lexi is, in my testing, I have found that there would be a lot of points in the game where I would fight to establish tempo, right? And this could be in the form of a Bramble Spark on a CNC, and then, like, whatever the case may be. And, I take a bunch of damage to do so, and I throw that, and then I draw my hand, and I'm leaving the game, I'm leaving the result of the game at the mercy of the hand that I draw next. The hand that I draw next is not very explosive or do something that's at or above rate, then I'm just toasted, right? Because I took all that damage to send that, and then now I'm not maintaining any tempo, right? And that's a lot more likely to happen in a deck like Briar than it is Lexi, where Lexi is just a lot more consistent, right? 75% of the cards in your deck are arrows, and those are what you're throwing at people, right? And then you have your power non-attacks. Briar is the reason that Briar is much more inconsistent is her deck is half and half, right? And that when anything is half and half, it's a lot less reliable. So, what do you think, Vincent? How do you think Vincent fares into Lexi? Not great. Not great. I think you can, like, even with pummels, the problem is to play that pummel, you're going to take 20 damage. And you're going to really mess her up, right? But then what's going to happen is she's going to draw 3 of a kind, and then she's going to block 2 cards, play 3 of a kind, still present 15 damage, including on hits, and then, like, I don't know. And if you don't draw a widespread destruction, then you're literally just toast. I don't think Vincent's bad. I would not want to play into Alexi if I was playing Vincent. If Pummel was a way to beat Lexi, then what? This is the question you gotta ask yourself. If Pummel was the way to beat Lexi, why are Guardians running blue fighting spirits and buckler and stuff like that? Like, if anybody should be able to do it, it's them, right? Not the deck that is forced to banish cards and stuff like that. Like, Yeah, but the CNC and the pummels are kind of. See, I only like pummel CNC if you have Tunic, right? And most of the time, Vincent shouldn't be running Tunic, if at all. Um, so you're like taking a downgrade because if it's telegraphed, right? Like, oh, here's my CNC. I got 2 cards in hand. What could it be? Vincent's not playing Sigil. Then they just like lay their hand down and like go about their day, right? So yeah, if Bravo's not getting it done with pummels, I don't think Vincent's going to. Plain and simple. I mean, that's what my thought process is. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's entirely possible. That's just where my mind goes. I'm just like, why is it not working here? Or why would it work there if it's not working here? And like here is just better built to do it. My mind Lexi is almost perfect TCG deck. Yep. Yeah. Card draw, consistent damage on hits, combat tricks. Yep. I agree, Sam. It's a hell of a deck. But that's why you're playing Azuri, right, Sam? Are you working or are you playing, Sam? Let me know. What card do you think is really slept on right now? That's a really interesting question. What card do I think is really slept on? I think I'd have to say Hold the Line. I think not as many people are appreciating Hold the Line. Just the fact that it's a blue and you can get all your breakpoints covered up in that matchup. Isn't that what it's called? Hold the Line, the new one, the majestic blue 2-block. If they draw 2 or more cards or whatever, they I refuse to play something that loses to the best deck. I feel, well, I'm signing myself up for it just about. Playing Briar. You'll be working. Okay. As long as Icelander exists, I don't want to play Major Event. I respect it. I respect it. I like Censor. Censor is a... So I have a little bit of a history with that effect, right? The Censor effect. For those of you who don't know, what I would do, what I did was in 2021 Nationals, I was playing Briar and I was playing Spellbound Creepers. And I actually ran 2 copies of Chains of Imminence in my Briar deck. Now you're thinking, what is this dude on? Well, don't judge too quick. I got 20th, okay? What I was doing with the Censors was, it was mainly for 2 decks. 3 decks, really. I was playing it against Katsu and Bolton. Okay. The idea for Katsu is after they tutor, there is a priority window that happens. And so you block an attack. You intentionally let the Surging Strike hit. They go grab Whelming Gustwave. In response, you activate Creepers, throw down Chains of Imminence, and call Whelming Gustwave. I would do the same thing for Bolton. After they took all the damage, they were trying to Saber combo me, I would block with an attack always on the first attack, so that way Creepers was turned on. And then once they pop Gallantry Gold or pop Courage of Blade Hold, I would say, in response, lay down Chains of Imminence, and then call Lumina Ascension, right? So I have a true respect for the effect on Censor. I understand its implications, and I value it highly, way more than Chains of Imminence. And I'm not advocating that Chains of Imminence is a good card. I'm just saying that this is what Nathan was doing when he was learning the game. It was my first event that was like more than 20 people, and I had 2 copies of Chains of Imminence. Um, it was exciting stuff though, and it was Channel Mount Heroic Briar, still killing it. But I like Sensor. Just the one cost, like it's a good stat line. It's like a better bingo, right? But like the 1 for 5 doesn't really fit in any deck but Ninja. Just doesn't. Um, that's my current thoughts. But anyway, back to Lexi. So you bring Lexi to a deck, or you bring Lexi to Nationals or Atlanta. The number one thing you need to figure out is how to beat rogue strategies. Okay, and I've already talked about this a little bit in the previous stream, or maybe the stream before. Not entirely sure. But you need to be ready for rogue strategies. And it's actually one of the reasons why I'm kind of low in the deck. I might play it for Nationals, but like I really don't want to. And it's because of, it's simply because of just rogue strategies that you're not expecting. And it kind of comes from the days when I played Chain, right? You would play Chain and you would sit down in front of a Starvo and you wouldn't know whether they were going to fatigue you or whether they were going to race you. And the problem with that choice in Flesh and Blood is like, let's say you get the choice wrong. Well, now you're hugely unfavored, right? Like you're just such an underdog. But if you get the question right, congratulations, you get to play a fair game. Like that just sounds crappy, man. Like I don't know. That me playing a guessing game on what other people are trying to do into me, not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it. It's one reason why I gravitated more toward Briar than Chain. Because I never knew what people were trying to do to me, right? And so yeah, that's kind of like my thought process. You need to be ready for rogue strategies. Okay, now what am I talking about? Okay, before we get into the rogue strats, what are your thoughts on Meeps in the Briar deck? I don't think it's enough, unfortunately. I like to go again. It costs 1 and it blocks 2. I mean, if you're full of lightning presses and razor reflexes, go for it. If you're not running a bunch of those, there's no shot it's worth it. There's too much armor in the format to be coming in for 2 on hit effect, right? I mean, how scary is a blue searing shot? It just isn't, right? So rogue decks. What am I talking about when I say rogue decks? Well, this could be anything in the form of you sit down in front of a warrior player and you don't know, like we'll say Dorinthia, you don't know if they're going Dawnblade or Decimator Axe Fatigue, and you guess wrong and you get creamed because you know. So you need to be looking at your deck and ask yourself, against certain matchups like Ninja or Warrior or anything that, or even Brute sometimes, if you have anything, or you're playing against a deck that has the ability to have multiple game plans into you, and it's not very linear, then you need the ability to find a middle ground, right? Instead of fat stacking it, run like 63 cards or something, and like just that little extra damage maybe, and it doesn't slow you down enough to like, ruin your matchup. It's something you're going to have to test. I'm just saying, just trying to give a couple ideas on what it could be. Also changing some cards out. Maybe you're big on Art of War, but like running Codex of Inertia like naturally, plays better into that, right? Because like finding cards that are dual purpose are great too, right? Like Codex of Inertia is a great example. Codex of Inertia is amazing, like at beating fatigue, because you're like putting crappy cards in arsenal, having it filter, and it also forces them to discard, which is a great way to beat fatigue. And it's a great aggressive card, right? You playing against a Katu, trying to race him, and you put a Lord of Wind in his arsenal. Like, that's pretty good. Um, so I'm a fan of cards like that. So if you can have enough cards like that and a 60 card deck, you might be able to get there. Maybe a combination of a couple extra cards plus cards like that could be enough. Like I said, I'm not trying to give you the exact answer. I'm just trying to get you thinking in the right direction, okay? You're trying to get a 60 or relatively close to 60 card deck and solve multiple problems and try to hedge your bets into one direction or the other. But also, there's a lot of decks where you can say, okay, well, this is way more likely that this is the case, right? For example, Ninja. Like, for every 3 aggressive ninjas, you'll run into 1 fatigue one. And then if you might just say, okay, if I run into the fatigue one, I'll just take the L. And that's fine too. But just trying to give people a thought process. Okay. What about the Bravos? What do you think the Bravos are doing? Okay. I'm telling you right now, I think everybody thinks they have a good matchup into Bravo, but I don't. When I look at meta in card games, I look at cycles of adaptation. Okay, what do I mean when I say cycles of adaptation? I mean, the Bravos came in out of nowhere and fatigued the crap out of Lexi's in the Birmingham Calling, right? And we didn't see a single Lexi top 8. There were a lot in top 32, granted, but we didn't see a single one in top 8. Okay? So, for the next 2 weeks, the Lexi players and everybody else were like, okay, we need to have a solution for this problem. And Chris Lyali, one of my favorite players, came up with that Azalea deck. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but he was running Dreadbore and Azalea with like a lot of release detentions and things like that. And it was massive because the Bravos were running so many D-reacts that they would just get clumped up in the hand. And he couldn't actively like block with them, and he's having to take a lot of damage. And it seemed like it worked very well. But the important thing to note, and my point that I'm trying to make when I say I don't think people understand what the Bravos are doing right now, is the people that the Bravos were picking on were the last people to act. Okay? So now we're waiting for the Bravos' response, right? The Bravo players. They haven't had an opportunity to say, okay, you're playing Dreadbore. You're trying to give me more Frostbite so my D-reacts hurt me. You're trying to run Remembrance and 65 arrows, whatever, to stop my fatigue. Okay, let me just run a lean 60 and then just kill you. Or maybe still fatigue, but take a different approach. Maybe a little bit more life gain and step away from as many D-reacts because they're getting punished in the form of Frost Locks and Frostbites and Release Detentions and Remorseless and things like that. We haven't seen the response from the Bravo players yet. And that's anytime you're going into the tournament, if you're the last hero or part of the meta that has reacted, you are at a natural disadvantage. Because now, this is actually, guys, I'm impressing myself with this thought process. Bear with me. It's actually genius, right? It's actually a philosophy in poker. Whoever is later to act has an advantage on the person who acts prior to them because you have an information point, right? Lexi was the dominant deck. Everybody knew it. It was amazing. The Bravo said, okay, let's build this in the dark and beat it, right? Icelander did the same thing. Icelander did it too, right? So the last hero slash class slash part of the meta that has had the opportunity to respond is at a disadvantage in the most recent events. How do I know if I've reacted correctly? Well, Taylor, that's a good question. And I think if whatever you were doing beats the previous idea, then you're fine, right? It's kind of the same thing as like the whole level 1, level 2, level 3 thinking in TCGs, right? Play the best deck, play the deck that beats the best deck, play the deck that beats the best deck, so forth, and it loops back around, right? It's the same thought process, but really it's just 2 rotations. It's like when you have people fighting for the top seat, it's like they figured out something to beat this. Okay, well, now they know how to beat that. But now we have a fresh event, and we haven't seen this person's response to beating that, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of innovation on the front of Bravo. I really do, because this could be something. I'm trying to think of something just off the top of the dome, like Iron Skin Potion or whatever the case. Once again, I'm not advocating that is a good card. I'm just trying to tell everybody to be ready for their solution, right? Because if you think about it, Iron Skin Potion or Iron Hide Potion, whatever the hell it's called, the Everfest Potion, it's literally a reverse Rain Razors that just sits on the board. Lexi has a little setup turn. You play the potion. You wait for them to play their Rain Razors. Oop, it's an instant, so you can literally respond as they play the Rain Razors and cover up all the damage. Or more of the damage. Maybe not all of it, right? We're not perfect over here, but I'm just saying be ready for those ideas. We haven't had the response from the Bravo players and all these Rangers innovating. And I think it's going to catch a lot of the Lexis off guard again. Also, Dromai, right? Dromai is another one, right? If I'm not mistaken, the more the Dromai leans Big Dragon, the better they are into what? I think they're better into Bravo. I know they're better into Lexi because it's Tumultai, right? And then I know that they are better into Icelander because they actually have blues. So there's a lot of innovation being had on the Nats level. And of course, you always have the possibility that some spice kind of like comes in, right? But like giving you an idea of like last Nationals, I brought Rusted Relic in my Briar list and up the blue count. Okay, so anytime I played against an Icelander, I ran Crown of Seeds in a couple AB slots, and then I would literally just play a Rusted Relic to bump the AB up so I could negate the yellow Ice Veins, the red Aether Hails, and stuff like that. And I would literally just fatigue them out. Or play this very like mid-range where I just like 0 for 4 or swung Rosetta Thorn and then just blocked all the arcane damage. And because of the cycle that Icelander works on, it worked very well. Was it perfect? No, but it worked very well. So be ready for like situations like that. I know it's not the greatest innovation for me to tell you to be ready for something that we don't know is there. But that's why because when I take a deck like Briar, when you play Briar, you don't give a shit what your opponent's doing. You really don't. Like in the same 60 cards, I can beat Fatigue. I can beat Aggro. It's just how I play my cards change, right? Okay, maybe I'm not just trying to swing Rosetta the cheapest way possible in the aggro match and grind out value, right? But then they flip over Fatigue, and I'm like, okay, I need to stack damage, right? So certain decks are less susceptible to like I don't like to use the word cheesy strats, but like non-meta strategies. Certain decks are more susceptible to them than others. And it starts with the weapon. Any deck that does not have a weapon that actually deals damage is more susceptible to off-the-wall strategies. So for Dromai, I am actually expecting Big Dragon to make a comeback. I think there is equity to be had, especially if more Azuri players show up. Even better into that. Not that Dromai needed any help against that matchup, but once again, I mean, any advantage will take it, right? So we've talked about Dromai. We're expecting big dragons. We haven't seen the innovation from Bravo and how they're going to respond to the D-React hate. Okay, so we're anticipating that change. We've talked about Lexi, how everybody's after you, and mid-range dragon. I mean, Jason, you always play that, right? You always play mid-range dragon. Oh, Stony Wooten. The old Wooten Hog. What else do we need to talk about? Briar. Briar's just going to show up as Briar. I'm not expecting anything like crazy. Some lists will be more aggressive with like meeps and razor reflexes like we saw, lightning press, stuff like that. Some will play more defensive. Just depends on what you run into. Let me pull up a list of heroes so I don't make sure I don't miss any heroes. Prism. Let me talk about Prism for a second. I think you need to know what Prism is trying to do. I think it's a deck that very easily, if you don't understand what the deck is trying to accomplish, I have not talked about Azure yet. You need to understand what Prism is trying to do. The ALS loop, what are some things you can do to beat that? I'm not saying that it's going to be heavily represented, okay? I'm not even saying it's a good deck because I don't think it is in the current meta. But you do at least know what it's trying to accomplish and how to beat it. You don't need to just be like trying to fatigue them by hitting their auras and then you just get blown out, right? Just know what that deck's trying to do. And like how important it is for her to not be able to establish angels and get that ALS loop. Super important. I'm just going to go off of this. Azalea. Okay. Azalea is an interesting one. She is supposedly favored into Icelander and Lexi. Not into Dromai. Warmongers, though, right? Expect the Azalea players to adapt to Warmongers. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means more Rabbles or more like Scar for Scar, or I have no clue what it actually means. Hell, maybe they'll play Seek Horizon too. Who knows? But expect them to adapt and not just get blown out by Warmongers. Does that mean you shouldn't bring Warmongers? No. It is still a good card and shuts down a lot of decks. But at the same time, understand its impact, right? And take note of the opponent and the cards that they play and try to gauge what the impact will be as the match goes on, because you might just get baited into playing it. Dash, there's no evolution on Dash, right? It's still the mid-range game plan. Nothing's changing. Nobody's doing Hanabi Blaster. You're just going to get beat by Lexi if you do that. For Dory, you have obviously Dawnblade and Decimator Axe. I don't think anything's groundbreaking there. You're going to have to hedge between if you're a deck that like plays bad into fatigue. You got to, you got to make your gamble and you might be wrong. That's just the nature of it, right? Fi has obviously gone more Kadachi. We've seen that over the past couple events. The Fi players are going leaning more toward the Kadachi and the Mask of Momentum. This is mainly in efforts to uh, basically that's their best way to compete into Lexi is if they present multiple mass triggers. Because one of Fi's biggest problems is actually creating breakpoints on the third chain. Katsu can very easily do it, especially because of breaking skills, right? But Fi has this problem. The reason that Kadachi is better is there's only so many cards in the Fi deck that can actually produce that breakpoint off of Kadachi X, right? Because if you just go Kadachi, brand with Cinderclaw, Lexi player's just going to throw a 3-block in front of it and call it a day. But the point of the Kadachis is to extend the combat chain long enough to where you can do that twice, right? And that that prevents the Lexi player from just giving up one card to prevent the card draw. Now she has to give up 2. And Lexi blocking with 1 card versus 2 is huge unless they have 3 of a kind. So I don't think anything will change there except for some fatigue strategies that will come out of the woodwork. Be ready for that. I don't know how you can be ready for that, but best of luck. Icelander, we've seen it. We've seen the innovation. We've seen Encase. We've seen Warmongers, obviously. We've even seen the return of Bulllander and like a mixture of the two. I would expect that. I don't think anybody's going to go full Arcane. I think you kind of got to go a little Bulllander, maybe not as heavy, not as many poppers, right? But there's also Majin's list, right, that goes kind of overboard and runs even the CNCs and the Wounded Bulls and the E-Strikes, and just all of it, right? Kano? I don't know about Kano. I think Kano takes a hit down because Icelander's doing so well. Like, he just doesn't have the surprise factor. Like, oh, I'm going to catch him without AB. But no, everybody has AB in their deck right now because of Icelander. So that's where I'm at. I could be totally wrong on that. I could easily concede that point. But that's where my thought process is. Katsu is actually a really good pick right now. Assuming that you don't have any consistency issues. I think it's actually a pretty decent pick for Katsu. But once again, you need to have a plan against certain decks. Katsu, test out whether you want to take a slower game plan. I do not think that's correct against Lexi. I think you need to go as fast as humanly possible against Lexi. That's just my opinion. I think you need a vroom because the more power cards Lexi gets to, the better shot she has at winning. Levia, we've seen multiple iterations of Levia. We've seen the recursion heavy. We've seen the just standard kind of set up Blood Rush Bellows for value kind of situation. And just leverage the transformation as much as possible. I think she will do okay. Not anything amazing. Just rely on the scabbies every now and again. Just can get rough. I think there's so many players that will have top 8 if their rolls were just a tad better. And that's just the nature of the beast, right? And Lexi, you have to have a plan that beats Icelander and the mirror match. Because, like, take an aggro mirror match, right? And let's say Briar versus Briar comparing to... No, man, Stan, she's not a Scabby's deck. But every now and again, you got to roll it. If I had to guess, Ethan, you probably roll Scabs 1.5 times a game on average. If you're to average, like one game you roll once and the next game you rolled probably twice. If I had to guess. Not an expert, and unfortunately, even though the sample size is small, if you mess up that roll, it can hurt. It can hurt. Yep, Levia does have good math. Absolutely. Oh, interesting. Nat's build is hooves only. Well, then you'll be in top 8, Ethan, because you can't roll bad on hooves. Right? That's a fact. I like that, though. I do like that. Levia without scabbies? I'm sold. I'm sold. Okay. So everybody that's running Levi with scabbies, not so good. If they got the hooves, though, be scared. Be scared. But Lexi. And so going back to Lexi, comparing the Lexi mirror match to, let's say, the Briar mirror match. Basically, inside the Briar match, there's like embodiment management and stuff like that. There's been so many matches where sometimes it's whoever gets to the mountain first, right? That is sometimes. But a lot of the times, I've won a ton of games where I never got a mountain and they did too, right? But Lexi, I mean, with how good Codex of Frailty is in the mirror and 3 of a kind, tell me, please, anybody that plays Lexi, please tell me how much of it relies on who sees the most of those 2 cards. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear it. Rhinar, I can't think of a valid reason that you would play Rhinar. I was wrong on my tier list. Enough said. Simple as that. Maybe there's a world where you go like heavy value club, fatigue, you know, that doesn't even sound that good, but like maybe like that's if you're just going straight aggression, Rhinar, it just seems worse than Levia. Like Levia has extra cards she can play with. I don't know. That's just what I think. I'm sure Ethan can set us straight on that one. Riptide, once again, kind of suffers the same thing. There's no current reason to play Riptide. Simple as that. Unless you just love the hero, and that's okay. It's okay to play the hero you love. You don't have to always be at like max competitiveness or anything like that. Bolton, I would plan for the Bolton to be on, man, like they're probably gonna be like half and half on like Sabers, Raiden. They'll probably do a flex situation where they can go in between, but not that high of a power level in that deck, so nothing to really worry about. Azuri is a very interesting one. Right, Lexi Mirror is based on 3 of a kind, Endless, Codex, and Withering. Yeah, like if that's what the Lexi Mirror is, this is another thing you Lexi players have to be thinking about. How do you leverage an advantage? How do you leverage an advantage? It's a balancing act, right? You're basically just choosing what you want to lose to. You could throw more ice in maybe, and that maybe helps you in the mirror match. Maybe it doesn't. Who knows? I hate it for that. Or maybe you just build the most like straightforward deck and just say, look, I'm just gonna like throw it at him, and if it works, it works. Kind of like the almost fuseless kind of route with just a tad of ice. But Azuri is an important one because if you can get the right gym pairings, obviously Azuri's 2 worst matchups are Icelander and Dromai. And specifically with Icelander and Dromai, if you have to, there may be a way to salvage the Icelander matchup. I'm not saying it's going to be pretty. I'm just saying that with your a majority of your sideboard, maybe you can get it there. I personally think the Dromai matchup is a lost cause for Azuri. I don't even think it's worth adding the sideboard slots. Once again, I could be wrong, but I think sideboard slots would go a lot farther against a deck like Icelander. And it's so boring. That's okay though. Lexi offers a lot of interaction and blocking. Sure. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people talk about it and just reference how coin flippy it feels. It was really the who went first and who went second. That was the big thing on 5. I don't think it's as much as Lexi. I'm sure going second with Lexi is fantastic and all, but I wonder how many points you get. So like I was saying, Azuri putting more cards into the Icelander matchup may pay more dividends. And just give up the Dromai matchup maybe. That's kind of where my thought process is. But you beat the best deck. Okay, and if you can make the other best deck at least okay, winnable, then you have like a real shot, right? There will be some Dromais at Nationals, but there's no way Dromai is going to make up like 20% of the room. I don't think. I think Dromai will be a solid 10%. Viserai, I don't know what to tell you. If you've seen the video we most recently released, I mean, I'm so down on Viserai right now just because of Warmongers. I think the deck literally just doesn't function without playing both of those cards. Whereas a deck like Briar, you at least have a chance because you can, play attack. Whereas Viserai, what attack are you playing? I have no clue. Not a single clue. And then Vincent, we've kind of already talked about Vincent. I'm not really expecting too much innovation from Vincent. I'm more worried about innovation on the Prism front than the Vincent. I just got a feeling that somebody's got something with Prism. I don't know who, I don't know what, but I got a feeling that somebody's got something. I don't know who and I don't know what. But that's just a brief overview. If you have any questions, throw them in chat right now. I'd love to talk about them, love to answer them. And then in the meantime, we'll jam some Briar games because we can, right, chat? Because she did not LL this weekend. This past weekend, if you will. She did not. Somebody won an Icelander game. I'm going to try and say looking for Icelander. Because somebody wanted that matchup. So we'll go ahead and sideboard accordingly. Oh, is it doing that thing again where it just sits there and spins? Oh, no. Who do you expect to make top 8? I don't know if you're referring to people or heroes. I do not like answering that question for people. Because I'll answer it for heroes, but for people, I just don't like to get into it because, like, it's so easy for it's so easy to say that oh yeah, Michael Fang will be in the top 8, right? Like, it's so easy to say that, but like everybody has a bad day. Like anybody can have a good day or a bad day, but hero, I'm expecting probably... Oh, I hate it when this happens, chat. It literally says looking for Icelander. It literally says it. And I don't want to be like mean. I feel like this is going to be a problem, so I'm actually going to copy this. Actually, I can't do that because then I got to copy my deck list. Son of a gun. Okay. Looking for Icelander. Because you had a pet. I see what you did there. I'm thinking 2 Lexis, 1 Dromine, 1 Azuri, 2 Bravo, 1 Icelander, and me on Briar. There's your answer. There's my top 8. 2 Lexi, 2 Bravo. What did I say? 2 Lexi, 2 Bravo, 2 Dromai, and Azuri and a Briar? No. 1 Dromai, 1 Icelander, Azuri, Briar. Would you say that the... Let me go in sideboard real quick. Well... Oh, God, it's Damien, chat. It's Damien. You're going to ruin the day. No, it's okay. It's okay, chat. It's okay. This card's not that good in this matchup. Let's roll with that. Let's run it, chat. Okay. What's your tech into Lexi? Raw skill. That is my tech into Lexi. It's just raw skill. Would you say that the Fab meta usually settles into the best aggro deck, the fatigue control deck, or the board state slash disruptive deck? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think they default to the best deck. Oh, so he's just gonna do that. Okay, that's cool. And our hand is absolute hot dog water. I mean, I think the majority play whatever the perceived best deck is. Always. So whatever, like right now, I think it's Lexi and Icelander. I think that'll be the highest represented. Here, we're definitely going to AB2 because what else are we doing? It's Damien, so I'm going to try to high roll the crap out of him. Most of the time, I probably like to keep the Exude here. Simply because, let me full screen this. I like to keep the Exude just to guarantee. But in a situation like this, we also get backup option here. So in this instance, we actually bank the Bramble Spark because we want to fuse with this card. So, yep, we just get dumpstered here, which is fine. Let's see. We can AB1 pay. The problem is, how can we punish here? We just need to slow the game down. We're going to abandon that plan. We're going to AB1. And yes. And then we'll take the waning moon, of course. Did he? What was fused? That's very important, actually. Insidious chill. Okay. Oh, so he's just gonna double Insidious chill. No worries. But yeah, to give you a better answer on your questions, they usually play the most, what's perceived to be the best deck. It may not be the best deck, but whatever's perceived. And then you have a lot of loyalists in the Fab community. You know, people that just identify with a hero. It's kind of like a symptom of just having heroes in a game, right? You identify with that hero, and you just love to play. So I would say that there's like a baseline of people that won't flex, and then it kind of scales proportionally from there. But I will say that I've seen a lot of level 1 and a lot of level 2, but I don't think a lot of people do level 3. And what I mean by that, I say the best deck that beats the best deck, and then deck that beats everything else. I've only seen one tournament where the tier 3 actually did very well. I've only seen one tournament. Sure, Damon. You got it. Very random for a new player for Control-esque playstyle on CC. Should I lean toward Bravo or Azuri? It really depends. Oh my god, this hand, bro. What do I even do? Sure. And then go 0. Double Insidious Ice Vein on the all red hand. Beautiful. Control-esque. It depends on what you're looking at for like Control-esque. It basically, are you, bro, Damien's literally like going to like do the whole setup thing on accident. He's finding the pieces so quickly. Sure. We've lost this game in case you haven't figured it out yet. That turn 0 Insidious Chill was brutal. I like Azuri if you like having 8, but if you like control, I think Icelander is like the way to go. It's actually the way to go. We'll pick War, sure. So I play this card, chat. 90% of the time, it's hot dog water. But when they play Warmongers, it's actually good. The problem with Azuri is like you have to play the Dromai matchup, and it's just not a fun match for you. Bravo, you at least like have a shot, but it's rough. It's rough to say the least. So he's indicated that he has no interest in playing his Arsenal for whatever reason. And I'm trying to think of a way to punish that. So, I guess we have to go here. Unless he's trying to deal damage via frost hex, but interesting here. I think we'll just pass. I was thinking about snapping, but we'll just put this in arsenal. We're fine with it. He's down to 1 card. He's just gonna peek or come off an arsenal. We're fine with either one of those. Sure. Well, he's gonna be upset. Is draw my matchup unwinnable as Azuri? I don't like using the word unwinnable. But boy, it's bad. It is bad. Matchup. Draw my matchup. Yeah, it's not good as Azuri. I've seen some heavy tech like looking for scrap and hurls and stuff like that. But if that's all you needed to beat, if that's all you need to beat Dromai, then Katsu would have a 100% win rate into Dromai, and that is not the case. That is not the case. I like he's been sitting on this arsenal for forever, so we're just gonna jam this. Lay this on arsenal. I don't think he has any intentions on throwing anything. Love to see it. Sure. Are you playing it now? Oh, we got us a channel like Frigid. Oh, he's waiting for his little tunic counter. That's so cute. I'll take it. We're going to make you pay to keep that channel. Psych. I'm just going to cry. Wow, this is bad. Wow, this turn like literally fell apart. We got hard shut down. We hit the blue. Doesn't get worse than that. Am I taking Briar to Nats? I'm 100% locked into Briar for Atlanta, the Battle Hardened this weekend. However, I'm not 100% on Nats. Undecided. No, I just want to discard this because it ain't going to be doing much. Don't think. Icelander's just whole nother beast, guys. Whole nother beast. Now, we got a couple options here. We could like throw it all into this. But then like we're doing that for what reason, right? Like what are we hoping to accomplish? It's only even playable if we rip a blue. The hand just doesn't get better is the problem. So unfortunately, we got to sling this, and we have to pay this. Let him make his move. We are definitely behind this game. I think we just lose on the next Insidious Chill. If he has Ice Vein fused here, we hard lose this. Try to push every little bit. Every little bit. Yep. We saw this one coming because he has the extra, so he's going to keep the channel out. So we're just going to turtle up, try to prevent as much damage as possible. So we're going to say no. We're going to discard, and then we're going to say yes. We're going to do this, and then we're going to have to pay again after this, so we can AB2 and still have to. That's our game plan. And then we'll just arsenal this on the next turn. Anything I would recommend to do in Vegas besides Fab? Yeah. So I'm a big poker player. I love No Limit, Texas Hold'em. I was a cash game grinder for probably about a year or two, maybe even 3. And I just really enjoy playing it. But so there's always casinos, obviously. I mean, there's casinos everywhere. But what I do recommend, there's these like huge Vegas buffets. They're not cheap. They're not cheap. Be prepared to drop like $80, $90. But it's like all you can eat, lobster, steak, whatever. You just think about food and it's a couple steps away. I don't care what you're thinking about. I would recommend going to that. It's not something you would do all the time, but you know, make it a good time, you know. I bet it would be a lot of fun. Going to get a feeler. Okay. So I think there's an exploit here. I'm not sure what it is. I think we can like, how do we do this? We can discard. Oh, we just discard an AB. I'm way overthinking this, chat. Right? So we go no, discard. Oh, there's 2 chills. Yeah, this is bad. So if that's the case, then we say yes, and we no, that's the same thing. We just discard, and so we say no, we discard, and then we just AB3. It's the best thing I know how. Shows are amazing as well. Definitely do that. Icelander makes me not enjoy Fab. Sam, that's a very interesting point because I put a poll out on Twitter about a week ago, give or take. And it actually got way more votes than I thought it was like 500 and something votes on the poll. And I asked a simple question. I said, what was everybody's interpretation of like how they like or dislike frostbites? What they think about frostbites. And surprising to me, I thought everybody was going to just going to like just complain about frostbites. That's what I was trying to gauge, was like, how does the community really feel about frostbites? Because if you ever give anybody the opportunity to complain about something that they hate, boy, will they take you up on that offer. And I was just trying to see if that's how people really felt about it. So I put that out there. I guess theoretically it was kind of bait, if you really want to think of it that way, right? Just to kind of like see if like the community really hated it or not. But surprisingly, 2/3 of the community thinks it's either necessary or they love the interaction, and then 1/3 is like they hate it or they think it's overtuned or whatever the case may be. Yeah, forcing people to interact, like as a deck that gets hard punished by it, like I respect it. I obviously don't like it because it hurts, but like at the same time, I get it. I really get it. Here we got a bunch of options. We are obviously going to sure. Get rid of this. Lowest hanging fruit. He's in an arsenal. He's going to respond to this, I would assume. He's thinking. If a card game doesn't have interaction, then it's solitaire. So Dark Odie, that's actually a great point. The question is, I think the question that statement kind of begs is, are there ways to force interaction that are not in the realm of Frostbite, right? You know, making stronger on hit effects could shift the game to like force people to block, stuff like that. But I think it's the fact that it attacks the resources specifically really makes people like really gets to them, right? That's just my thought process. I don't know if it's correct. I'm just shooting from the hip, right? Crew traps, forcing. But you know, like it could be anything. Okay. Sure. No. We have 3 frostbites, so we pitch here. Then we arsenal. Take 3 more. Like I said, chat, we are behind. Yeah, Pulse Wave Harpoon, Lost in Thought, yep, as well as Warmongers. But those are very binary. I agree. I agree with that. We're leaking, chat. We leaking. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You're just forced to play Icelander's game. Yeah. But at the same time, think about it. She's like attacking you with a bunch of blues. So from a balance standpoint, if she wasn't actively making frostbites, she would be one of the worst heroes in the game. Like really bad. Okay, chat. Okay, chat. We go 2 and 2, and it gets. He could. The only thing we lose to here is like red Aether Hail, but like it gets him off his hand. Now he's not off. He's off an arsenal. We have a chance, chat. I have lethal, so. Son of a bitch, he did it. God dang it, man. I thought we were going to kill him with the damn the press. I thought he got, but he did not. He did not got. Now we're in trouble. I think it's safe to do this. Could be wrong. We're going to try. Gets him off. It gets him on an arsenal, which is rough. The double D react there is. What a draw. This has to hit a red for us to have any shot. I don't think we have a shot, but like for us to have any shot. It's good that he's pitching that. Yeah, that kills us probably. Maybe. We say no. We ditch this. And then we say... And he kills us with Wayne Moon. For game. Yep, that double D react bailed him out. Big time, boy. Was it a red on top? It was a blue anyway. It didn't matter. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. GG. GG. The game was closer than I thought it was going to be. Because he went first, dropped that in series chill. I was like, oh, Lord, this is not it. This is not it. But we made it a lot closer than than I thought it was going to be honest. So we'll play something that's not an Icelander. Somebody just requested that. And if anybody else has a specific request, let me know. I'll try to find that game if I can. Let me get caught up on chat while we're waiting for a person. Don't really mind Frostbite. Yep. Okay, let me sideboard real quick. Nothing too crazy here. I like this over this. I like... That's it. I like to do this just to make them scared. Yeah. Get caught up on chat. So adding more blues and AB to my deck forces me to dilute the gameplay into every other deck. Yep, absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Taxing the resource is just... A lot of hero design is just not capable of handling it. Just isn't. It's kind of like Illusionist and how like some decks just can't compete against that deck. When I made Phi, Icelander was one of the most fun matchups. Really tricky. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Power creeping on hits is risky. Because the game could become, do you have the react or not? Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, you just have to do it tastefully, if you will, right? Like, you gotta be careful. For this situation, let's try and get... Let's try and get an embodiment real quick. See if we can talk him into it. No fucking shot. Never mind, chat. I'm not even going to attack. Oh, this hand is gas, bro. Okay. What was it? What were we saying? Sure. Actually, that's not correct. That's. I feel bad for going back, but I'm not gonna go back. I should have just dropped the Autumn's Touch, but it seems like it's gonna work out anyway. I have a chance. Famous last words versus Icelander. Absolutely. Absolutely. I thought the press was good enough, but then he had the double D react. Oh, that shit was whack, man. Can't be doing that to people. Yep. If you want to bust your Breeze Rider boots here and not block with them, then you go for it, boss. I'd love to get those out of the way on a blue Fluster Fist. Like, by all means. Yeah, I could do a Dromai after this. Easy. That was demoralizing to one. Yeah, turn 0, Insidious Chill. Turns out, wins games. Turns out, when you can get 3 cards of value from your opponent and no way to interact with it, it's good, right? It's really good. Okay, now here's the secret sauce for playing Briar. Okay. This card right here. This turn, it attacks for 7 with Go Again. But chat, tell me exactly what it's going to do next turn as well. It's going to be 7 Go Again next turn. So against a deck like Katsu that's probably not running like CNC and stuff like that, you have to ask yourself, what do I have to lose and what do I have to gain by playing this card out, right? Because I'm obviously making a Rune Chant and swing Rosetta with this because it's 5 value in a card. We take those. But playing this out just presents more damage on this turn rather than next turn. But if I draw a bunch of non-attacks that pump or something, and I don't have an attack, then I took on all that risk for nothing if I play this Lightning Surge out. So I like to actually just keep it there. Now, if it's a like Guardian or something like that, you got like, okay, I'm not trying to get CNC to sleep here, you know? But yes, Katsu probably runs CNC, but we're good. We have an embodiment, we can block, we have armor, like we're not too worried about a CNC. This is scary though. That scared the shit out of me. Okay. So the question is, do we just deal 30? But being that this is a stream game, the dude's still gonna. So if we play this, we just 30 ball him, right? We just 30 ball him. Seems good. So we're not going to be able to prevent. We have like 0 chance to prevent the mask draw if we're going to go with that line, but we can. In this situation right here, I'm going to mitigate the risk a little bit and cover that up so it breaks the chain, so maybe we can get further and kind of figure something out. But he blocked with Breaking Scales on a Rosetta Thorn, so he has every intention to use it, which means I'm probably not going to be able to I'm probably not going to be able to actually stop whatever he's There's no fucking way. Chat. There's actually no way. There's actually no way. That way, this dude Took 7 damage to Kadachi CNC. Oh my god, bro. Oh, this is too good, so we have to just dip it, right? Like what do you want from me, bro? Ended with a card in hand, bro. Interesting. Interesting. Well, we'll do this again. 10. Yeah, I know CNC's raining Katsu, but like, I don't know. It felt safe, chat. I don't know what to tell you. Well, there's another one. Bro, I talk all this about, yeah, guys, like we should be like hedging our risk and like playing for bad hands. And we just see like 2.5 CNCs in like 30 seconds. Chat, you guys got to keep me honest here. Like, the question is, do we arsenal this? And it's an extremely valid question. We know a lightning surge is on top. I think it's actually worth arsenaling because if we can rip a double blue, very unlikely because we've been hitting a lot of earth cards. But if we do, we have a way to double pay into it to keep the second channel. So I think I am going to elect to keep the blue. The other alternative would be snap, make a rune chant, turn it into 5 value. But with a lightning surge on top, snaps could prove to be extremely valuable next turn. Chat, we're gonna get him back. We're gonna get him back. He doesn't know it yet. Boy, he's got another thing coming. There's no way, chat, that he blocks this entirely. Unless he's watching our stream. Everybody, let's talk real low. Maybe he won't hear us. There's no shot that he blocks all 7 of this damage. Just to snap and get blown out by a snatch. And that turns on the go again for the swarming. And then, chat, and then we got it. All right, you gonna CNC me? Let you take a nap. Yeah, there's no way they block all 7 on a lightning surge. Give me that arsenal. Let's go. Empowerment. It's 31 on 3. It's not very empowered. Yep. GG. Good game. Good game. All right. Dromai. I'm going to say looking for Dromai. Good game. A little bit of a high roll there. It happens. It happens. So playing against Dromai, we're going to anticipate for a little bit of a longer game. Nothing crazy. Warmonger OP. Yeah, it did absolutely nothing. It did absolutely nothing. We make them go first. Learn that lesson the hard way. My man sniped and lost. I mean, it happens. It happens. You know, Channel Mount Heroic, good. Channel Mount Heroic, good. The reason I like these cards into it gives more consistency. Do the fuse go again here? Also, it's a desperate popper if need be. So that's kind of the angle here. That's so funny, chat. I sat there and was like, yeah, chat, we don't play around CNC here because we want to not brick, and then wham! Kadachi, picture red CNC. Insane. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. That hand needed some milk, chat. That hand needed some milk. Let's go. Did we do it? Oh, it's so mean, bro. It's so mean. Pretty good. Coming out the gate hollering, bro. It's Terry acquired. That's a fact, Sam. We got there on this one. Move. there is a very valid reason to not use the Bramble Spark there and just do the you just kind of bank it. There's like an actual like really good reason, and that's the reason. But you know, that's nor here nor there. Do I care about? That's really good value. 2 card 9. Jealous. How good do we want to get? We got channel out. We blocked the one already. Let's go for it, chat. What is happening, chat? Like, I know what you're thinking, and it's not right. We don't play channel here. Play this. Oh, next turn is going to be juicy. So we're going to play this, sync this. We're going to arsenal this because we already blocked with the first one, turn 1. We do have pulse in the deck, so we'll get them back. We will reacquire some. But, you know. Dude's drawing double C-mates like it's his job. I mean, like, getting them this close together is actually really bad. Like, they're coming too quick. Usually I can't find where they are, but... God dang it. Let me show some restraint. This is my favorite play in the game, guys. What's happening? Why does it keep... What's happening? Um, favorite play in the game right here. I really enjoy doing the old. Bro, this card is putting in work, but I don't have a convenient way to clear it because I had CMH and I couldn't like afford to be doing all that. So we actually have two options. We could have played the CMH and then Tunic counter did the same thing. But I really want to save that CMH for when we get more attacks. Really want to save it. We get more of those good old attacks. But we're applying decent. Pierce is walking in drama right now. I can randomly get like 8 value. Yep. That's a fact. It's doing all right now. It's already been a 0 for 4 plus whatever he gets off of me swinging into it, if I ever do. I don't know if I can. With this in Arsenal, probably not going to happen. But right now, this is priority number 1. Priority number 1. Yeah, if I had 2 attacks, I would have taken that line, Sam. But like playing CMH in 1 attack, that just feels like super risky. Super risky. Clear that out real quick. And I don't even gain like the popper advantage because we have a mirror guy out. These are just odd. Sure. Could be worse. This is another, just for anybody thinking about playing Rune Blades, I up my attack ratio to, normally I play anywhere between 28 and 30 attacks in my Briar list. But in this matchup specifically, ever since the inception of Lost in Thought, I up my attack percentage to 30 to 32. Maybe even as high as 33 sometimes. If I have an inkling on what type of Droma they're playing. So just that's one way that you can combat Warmongers and Lost in Thought. However, you have to be extremely careful because really wasting the Ponder here, unfortunately. But what can you do? This Earth Lore is actually a problem. It doesn't look like it right now. But if neither aspect of this swarming hits, because I don't want to use Tunic Counter. I need this card to fuse, and it's... Okay, maybe this is our solution. What do you even do here? I got a plan, chat. Trust me. Okay. The Arcane is kind of bait here, because if he takes the Arcane, we can then take Tunic Counter and swing into Pierce Reality. Or we get a card for a card, which is also, well, not exactly a card for a card because he's making an Ash, but the idea was the Arcane would get through, and then maybe, just maybe get the Bro, take your pick. Literally take your pick. This CMH been chilling, bro. Give them the cards, swing big at them. How bad is playing channel from Arsenal with Tunic there? Oh, that yeah. No shot that's happening. No shot. Okay, CMH is a huge priority right now. We cannot drop low enough to acquire anything from Scars, so I'm thinking it might just be in my best interest to. What am I actually rosetting for? Is the question. This is the second time I've not been able to take advantage of a ponder, so like Lost in Thought has been free. Actually, thinking. He's gonna do 3, 2, then 1. 6 total damage. Drop me to 16. We have enough runway to draw Earth Hand next turn. I need to save snaps though. Do it like this. We still haven't drawn a popper either. I was going to say we have the option to snap Tunic counter Rosetta. I just don't. I don't know what the value is there. We're getting him lower. We are getting lower. Let's look at our attacks and kind of evaluate the go again situation, right? This is a hard no go again, hard no go again. And these are kind of, so we're about half and half on like, can get go again. We also have a bunch of entwined lightnings, and we haven't seen any of our lightning cards. So I'm actually going to snap here and take the Tunic counter and Rosetta. And I think dealing the 4 is better than taking the Pierce here. Plain and simple. Yeah, those CMHs came up a little clumped. Like, felt good on the first hand, but then it was like, if you really break it down, that first CMH that we actually, first one we blocked with, second one we played it, and it only pumped 2 attacks. It pumped the Rabble, I think, and it pumped the Snatch on the first turn. So not amazing results from the abundance of yeah, I think we just kill him now. Okay, so we need to calculate our damage. So currently we have 7 and hopefully 7. We have 14. We can push 4 more. But what is that accomplishing is the question. I think we have to go ahead and cash it in now, though. It's tough. How much earth have we seen? Not a whole lot. Maybe Arseling. This is actually... It comes down to the math on like what he has left. So he has 2 armor block and presumably 12 block. So he can prevent 14 damage, roughly, you know. So to actually kill him from here, we would have to produce 22 damage. Our cap is 18. We're 4 off. So we can't kill. But being 4 off does kind of force that situation where, like, it's going to cost him to keep a card. But at the same time, we can pop mid-turn next turn and keep the Bramble Spark as insurance. I'm actually going to hang on to the Bramble Spark in case we draw that Tome of Harvest or something along those lines. So we're just going to go here, play the Rabble out. Okay. So Force of Nature, how does that change things? It makes this a lot worse because it's one of the 4 cards is not Earth. But it's too late now. We can't really back out because there's like no play that we have. That's my thought process there. Because adding 4 damage here doesn't change anything, but like we need to close the game out very quickly with that board state because he's going to get us down to where we like literally have to start blocking. We are down 2 burn them alls, but he does have Azraeli, so it's looking kind of scary. But hopefully we'll draw a Tome of Harvest with that Force of Nature. That would be grand. No, but we can work with this. The Bramble Spark sucks. Pop here because we really just want to avoid the whole situation the next turn with the Arcane. Now, there's no Ash. So hear me out here. I think we have to... He gets a card anyway, no matter what. And we might as well pop this one. And he has no Ash. So I think what we'll do is we'll play the Bramble Spark. Obviously not as amazing as we would like, but we can play this, go after her, pitch this, banish this for go again. So we have 8 go again, 1 Arcane at her. Forces at least 2 cards here. And then we can go 2 and 2, 2 at Chroma and 2 at her. And then she can make Ash in that situation because there's plenty of Arcane opportunity to do so. But at the same time, we've hit a very critical spot. I'm not as worried because the burn them alls are gone, or at least 2 of them, that we can manufacture a... We're trying to price her out of making Ash, is literally what we're trying to do. Just trying to price her out of making Ash because I think she's going to need it to do whatever she's trying to accomplish, right? So like in this situation here, she's attempting to keep 2 cards. Unfortunately, there's no way that we can really stop it, so we have to just take out the Chroma. The channels did come, but like they were kind of lackluster. That's for sure. Okay, so we definitely walk here. I don't think we have any choice here. I think we give up this. We're just trying not to drop to 1 due to Azrael. Probably losing this one. Do buff, because we're just trying to present as much as humanly possible. And our only out is kind of drawing one of the 2 CNCs that we get, or Desperate Lightning Press, whatever the case would be. Interesting to give that up. I guess you can't play it. Maybe, yeah, that's why he gave it up. Just could not play it. We drew none of it, so we probably lose here. Yeah, this gets snaps and he just takes it. Yep, he got that one, so give him that one, and we'll see how far we were. It was 2 cards out. There was another one right there. Those CMH, they came, but man, they were. And I took a calculated risk on the Bramble Spark. I did give up 4 damage, but I guess I gave up 1 damage as the net, because playing the Bramble Spark allowed me to swing Rosetta Thorn, which gave me an extra 2 damage on that turn. Whereas if I would have played it the turn before, it would have produced 4 damage. So it gave me the 2 arcane on the Rosetta plus the 1 arcane on the card. So I lost 1 damage by arsenaling it, but I thought it was worth the upside of. I thought it was worth the upside of the possible. Great game, Jason. Great game. I get to see you in Atlanta, right? It's not too far from Tennessee. Not too far at all from Tennessee. I love that Pierce reality. Okay, we got us a Azalea. We're going to throw these in immediately. There's 2. This is good as a play around for Red in the Ledger. We cut this because we don't like to operate on chance. And these are less so good. Seems good. That's right. Sweet. I will see you there. Are you going to Nationals as well? I know you got that invite at that first event when I went undefeated just to lose the first round of top 8. That was a doozy. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of filtering here. We're going to get rid of this one, get rid of this one. We'll take damage, so this will be turned on, and we'll arsenal this to just. We don't want to give them the chance to filter in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So arsenal there, and we got a pretty good hand, assuming he lets us play it. Azalea have all pumps 1 time. 1 time. I just thought about it, but I left my Warmongers out. That's bad. I should be playing Warmongers in this matchup, but we'll play it old school. Bringing Droma, I like it. Okay, what you gonna put on it is the question. On the surface here, I don't particularly care too much about that card, if I'm being honest. If this is just damage, yep, don't care about that. Oh yeah, we're taking it. We are taking it. Sure. Okay. Wow. Wow. So this is effectively a 3-card 16, right? Because you start with 4 cards in hand, is getting to Arsenal, one of 2 cards. Holy shit. Oh. 2 vested now. Try to fight back a little bit. We do have the fridge still. So mainly what I like to try to do is just save that fridge for when we establish one of these, and then just try to push as much advantage as we possibly can. So what we're looking to draw in this next hand, if I could like perfectly form it, if I could, I would want like 1 card that blocks really well, maybe like a Force of Nature, something like that. And then kind of like 3 attacks with no go again issues would be the dream, right? But you know, can't have it all, you know. Are you guys coming to calling in Dallas in October? I will be there. Most of us should be there. It's not too far away, and I love going to callings, so I can't think of one reason why I wouldn't be. Did he sink? The card was put to the bottom. Okay, that's good. It's a good thing. And then the frailty there. So that was a 3-card 9 plus 7, 16 plus 1. It was a 3-card 17. 5 3/4 value per card. Insane. Just to back it up with all the defense on the planet when I try to take tempo. Sheesh. I mean, the good thing is like these are not pumps, right? So he's not disrupting on me on my channel. I just really need to draw a good hand on this next hand to try and get back into this game because we are behind. We are behind. Yeah, I don't care. Gotta kill you this turn. Or like get caught up. No lightning embodiment, gotta remember that. But we're gonna go ahead and jam this. Try to get 2 earth cards in the pitch zone. That would be fantastic. And this is amazing. Look at this. We go here. And then we go here. We're gonna snap it. Snap it, play, play. If he blocks 8, we pump. If not, we hang on to it, play it in front of the rabble to guarantee that it gets over. gets us our lovely card draw. And we just keep on going. We just keep on keeping on. We're looking for a lightning card. Going once, going twice. Keeping this bad boy around for another turn. Double earth in the pitch. We're going to rip a card. Okay, that's not the worst, but not what we're looking for. This needs to be red. If it's blue, it stops the draw. That is a red card. Unfortunately, it stops after this because we have no way to formulate go again, but I can't complain. It's been a great turn. So in this situation, what we will do is pitch the Tome of Harvest to make a rune chant, and then we will play the Infectious Host because it has 0 chance of getting to go again next turn. And then we will arsenal the Intwine Lightning. Okay, I really need him to attack here. It's really just about like how risky we want to be, right? I think that's what it boils down to, and so if we draw this equals 5 value if we draw any non-attack action that's playable. Which means the best line is actually jamming the armor here. And then we sink the 1 in hand in case we draw a Tome of Harvest. That works. We know he has a Rain Razors in hand, so what we can do is just play this out. Might as well. This gets the whole hand. Oh shoot! I haven't updated the win-loss. I am about to be 1-2. Played an Icelander, or no, sorry, 2-2. Played an Icelander, super close. They turned 0. Insidious Shield. We got really close though, and then we played a Katsu, beat the brakes off of them. Then we played a Dromai, super close. Average game came down to the nitty gritty, and Jason got it on Dromai, and then now we're playing this where we're about to stomp in Azalea. I think he's left the game. We haven't officially won, but like, I mean, I got a D-reacted arsenal plus a little bit of armor left, so we're doing A-okay. You have that many D-reacts, bro? Or are you making one final push? Because he's taking 9 right now. You go to 2? Boy. Seems risky to me. He could do it, though. If he got a red in the ledger, but he would have to pump it mad high. Because we're going to go... We have the D-React plus the 2 armor plus the card from hand with an embodiment. I mean, we could block up to 10 almost. Anywhere between like 8 and 10, depending on how the hand lines up. Okay, and he's obviously not getting that high if he's only on 2-card hand, so... Yep. People were laughing about Seek Horizon, but how's it look in this situation? Let's rebuild this hand, chat, and put Coax of Commotion in there, Arcanic Crackle, Arcanic Shockwave. Just picture one of those cards in the Seek Horizon slot in this match right now. It's night and day. I'm not saying Seek Horizon's effect is good. 99% of the time, we do not use it. But in a situation like this, it's just massive. Literally massive. Yeah, that's not it, Chief. Okay, so this is it. Right? Sure. Bing. This also secures the attack for next turn. Still in tempo here. We have the attack guaranteed. We got a little bit of armor. Not the worst situation. He also has the exact same amount of armor, but the difference is we're higher on life and pushing a lot of tempo here. Chat, I don't know what I'm going to do when Briar LLs. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a clue. Oh, the 2 block. That's huge. Best thing about the snatch is we know exactly what we're drawing from the Seek Horizon, so we know that Exude Confidence will make a great arsenal. So, Seek Horizon, I'm telling you. CMH busted. More like Seek Horizon is busted. Card's so good. It's just literally 0 opportunity cost, but like it can just save you. Just save you for free. Literally. Just save you. Yep, this is a fine situation as well. That means we no longer have to worry about dominate for the most part. It's still possible. Oh my Lanta. This is how we lose the game. This looks sus. It's the one thing we got going for us here. From a value standpoint, there is an argument to be made that we pitched for the Rune Champ. But I need for the in this situation, I need the threat of something to be of higher value than the so-called possible damage. Okay. So this indicates that he has a D-react, which is actually okay. Because that means he can't throw as much at me. So we'll be fine. We'll take it there. I was thinking about burning the D-React on the... And that's actually the wrong play, because if the way that Exude Confidence works, if I have 2 blues in my hand, he loses the game. Because I would... Yeah, Pokey's pointing out in chat right now. Yeah, I would get a priority window. The only reason it's not happening that way is because I don't have the full control setting. But when he blocks, I can say in response, double pump to 8, and then he can't D-react here, and he gets blown out. Unfortunately, I didn't have it anyway, but fortunately, we got free value from the overblock. So, trying to recover, trying to recover. We're going to arsenal one of these. Not sure why half is here, but I would love the ability to dip under 3. I'm not too worried about dominate. We're just trying to outvalue here. Maybe I can take some damage, scoot under. Okay. Never mind. I think we lose the game. Right? We take 6 here. We have to keep this for an on-hit effect that we can stop. Take 6 down to 3. The go again on the scar doesn't matter. Unfortunately. This turned around really quick. This is why you don't give up on games in Fab right there. Runeblade hands can happen. And for those in chat wonder why I didn't play the Snatch, it's because Seek and Destroy, it's going away anyway. 9 HP on Talshar, 9th place in our hearts. Oh man, that's the nicest thing anybody ever said. If you have Force active and hit with Coax or Snap, do you get to choose which order they resolve in? Yes, you do. You can draw the card first off of Force of Nature and then dictate whether you want to make the Quicken or the Life Gain or the or draw another card. The important thing though is in a tournament you have to indicate which card draw you are executing. If you do not, there's an advantage to be had because you can like draw one card, realize that's enough, and then say, oh yeah, no on the Coax. When you theoretically there's no value to be had, but if the judge was to be involved, it could be one of those situations, Just gotta be careful. All this goes away. Yoink. All my attacks. And because I drew so many attacks in a row, I was kind of worried about not drawing one, but we'll take it. Don't have a pump with this, please. Okay. We stand a chance, chat. We're trying to... I think that's the correct play, because now it allows me to secure an arsenal that's actually halfway decent while pushing at least 2 cards out of hand. Seems correct. That's why we didn't block with the armor on the Red in the Ledger, because it was a lost cause. There's no reason to be scared about dipping to X life value, because if we're dominated high enough, we're dominated high enough, right? There's no instantaneous damage that they can cause other than Hornet Sting, which they are not running. Azalea's in the tank. I don't blame her. As far as D-reacts go, that's like the worst case scenario, but like she's already been through 4. 1 block, and I really need this embodiment. That's the important part. And I think she knows it too. embodiment is just huge here, right? Because now I can block 8 and still push. Yeah, this should do it as long as I can survive blocking 8. This is guaranteed damage, and it's literally 4/4/4. So I'll lock 8, 4/4/4. Unless they can dominate 7. That's possible. Dominate 7. They would have to have a pump in hand, flip into a red. Okay, it's no longer possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know Azalea math. That's a good arrow to sling. Okay. That's a lot of damage. That's actually really good. So, yeah. How the fuck did 3 cards turn into this? So we have 8. And we block with 1 more is 10. We take 1. Go to 2. We die to the blood rot pox because they just block out the 8 damage. So that forces the entire hand. However, does put them a little bit closer to death, which we like. And we present another break. We just need them not to draw the D-React. We need this embodiment. Okay, especially in this situation because they're going to look through my graveyard. They're going to say, oh, there's 1 sigil still out there. And so if they take this, then basically if I draw the sigil, I win. But they don't know that I sunk it with Crown earlier in the game. And it's like 15 cards away. But they don't know that. But either way. God, that really turned into a 3-card 11 with a bajillion on hit effects. Azalea's kind of good. Azalea's kind of good. If I could have got 2 of those attacks off. But it was the perfect arrow, the perfect... Ugh. Sheesh. Okay, we got the embodiment. So we're going to do some blocking. This is oh, this hand is so good. Holy shit. If this ain't dominated, bro. Bro. Let's see. Is there any way we lose this game? We block here and here. We make another embodiment. This goes up to 9. We're safe from Rain Razors. We make a rune chant kill with Arcane. Right? I guess if we're going off that mentality, we would just do this too, just to play around like Lightning Press or some shit. I don't know. Okay, chat. So that one ended up being way closer than I thought it was going to be. I was like, we are cruising. We did the force thing. But, boy, that... Whew. Thomas Briggs. I better see you at Battle Hard in Atlanta. I'll be there. Can't wait to lose to your Briar. Well, I would be... I would love to oblige, but, you know, you gotta work for it, right? Nothing's free in this world. Okay, we got a Levia. A good old Levia. I like disrupting the arsenal, do the blood rush billows. This is also kind of cute. I don't like relying on as much chance. Again, I don't need a reason to like super extend against Levy. I'm trying to play like a value-oriented game. So that's not as necessary. And then here, take that away. And we can actually drop some attacks. What is not as great? Not really a whole lot going on the D-React front. I mean, we have Reckless Swing, obviously, but like usually that's about it. So we'll run something like that. Just siding off vibes right now. And it works. Also, just played Tower Shark for the first time late last week. How good is the Shadow Beast D-React in Levia when combined with one of her alternate forms? Is that a common strategy? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen somebody do it. This is situational go again. This is guaranteed go again. We keep this one all day. Hardest thing about this matchup is actually playing around this card right here. It's a bit of a doozy. So we already got our first Blood Rush Bellow. We are off to the races. We take the claw. I do like the way that this hand is established, though. It kind of plays around the flesh bag. At least the swing big got discarded, right? At least that's not being thrown at us. Bro, this is the second time this stream, bro. Shit's annoying. Okay. Moving on. We're just jamming this. There's no action point. If this dude pummels me, bro. If this dude Blood Rush Bellow pummels a CNC, he deserves to win. He's earned it. Simple as that. Okay. So the one thing I do like about this hand is like no matter what card is taken at what point, we have plays around here. It's actually like the perfect hand for such. So we're going to give him every opportunity to use this before we put ourselves in a situation like, look, we got to do something. Okay, Ethan's the one to ask about that, so thank God he's still in here. Guardian of the Shadow Realm is decent with Consumed. When I read that card, I don't think I've ever seen a card that I wanted to be so good, so bad. Guardian of the Shadow Realm. I saw that card and I was like, bro, D reacts from the Banished Stone? I was like, sign me up. And then nope. Yep, see, this is the perfect situation. And I really want, see, he got the E strike, right? But let's run down every card that would have gotten intimidated, right? If he intimidated the Earthlore Surge, we E strike, sync in the CNC. If he gets the E strike, we send the CNC. If he gets the CNC, we sync with the E strike. So we actually built the perfect hand to play around this. We didn't build it. Well, technically, I get all the credit because I got rid of the D react. That was completely unplayable. I didn't really It was nothing planned. It just happened that way. But I did play it. You know, you throw all the go against stuff out front to really um, maximize the odds of it, and that's okay. Just trying to get that pressure. We get to Arsenal this. We know we're drawing another Channel Mile Relic. We don't have the blue, which is concerning. It looks like we're going to have... This has Dominate. That's cute. We have the Husk on, so the value of this goes up astronomically. And we're trying to get her on the back foot. Is actually what we're trying to do. So I'm actually going to elect to block with this card. We haven't seen a blue in like... We've seen, what, one blue in the past couple hands? I really think there's a blue up there. And we have a couple options if it's not. So what we're going to do is we're going to block 3 here. We're going to take the 5. We're going to E-Strike, sink the Earthlore Surge. That is unfortunately red. We're going to elect to draw a card. The worst case scenario is it's a red, and we can double pitch into the CNC in a desperate measure. But here we're going to snap it, and we're going to apply pressure on the Arsenal, which is all we're trying. We're trying to get in these 2-card trades while we have the life advantage, and they're accumulating blood debt. And then we're going to try to set something up, take the damage, and then swing back hard is what we're going to do. So we're trying to just get in this trading while we set something up that's of value. This is not it because, once again, we don't have... Okay, this seems like a Desperation Art of War because you're drawing blind. I'm not sure. Don't know what to compare it to. Oh, it's not because you could just play that. So that's good. Cool. Definitely not Desperation. 6. Okay, so we have a decent line here. We can go Nimblism, Seek Horizon, put the card on top that guarantees an attack for the next one, and then pitch for Rosetta, putting more pressure on the light. But the question is, how much are we going to have to take to pull that off is the question. Because she doesn't have a whole lot for the transformation. She's got a little bit, but not like anything crazy. So it's just 6 with Dominate. I don't think we particularly care. We're just trying to force the hand on the transformation. We don't want to let her float around the 17 forever. So we're going to go here, into here, doing the Desperation. It's way better than blocking 4 and doing that. That's not very unfortunate hand. And if they have a really good hand here, it actually gets really bad because then this card becomes a liability. Like a very bad liability. This card is basically we get to play it next turn or it's there for the rest of the game. Is very likely how this will end up. Okay, and since we are securing the embodiment here, we will elect to secure the split damage. Might as well. This will drop to... She has to pitch here if she wants to transform, and she has to block. So we basically just mitigated the turn is effectively all we really did. And this is a good turn to kind of hit on the crackback. Unfortunately, we were not able to push the channel, but you know we're doing what we can. We do have some form of tempo, so we'll take it. We will elect to play this with the go again. And then we are at an interesting spot. We have a couple options here on which ones we play. Once again, this is becoming a huge liability. Huge. I'm worried that when I finally actually get the the blue card, I'm not going to be able to... So does So what in here is playable? That's what I need to read. You may play a card with blood debt from your banish zone. Okay, what's in the banish zone with blood debt? Not the best, not the best, not so dumb. So all we have to do is kind of play around. Thank God he didn't have enough time to set up like Dread Screamers or anything with like Go Again. That's massive for us. In this situation, because we have a lot more Entwined Lightnings in the deck, we're going to elect to just pitch the Exude to split the damage because we've already secured the embodiment. Is the important part. Didn't seem like the winningest strategy, but it certainly caught me off guard. Absolutely. Okay, we get the final block on the old Scabbies. Okay. So if we survive this, we should be in like decent spot. Dread Screamer, really good here. Holy. All right, we're in trouble, chat. This is now officially a liability because we're not going to be able to play it. Basically, our win con at this point is basically I don't even know. I'm not even sure if we have one. I mean, there's no reason to block 4 there and kind of... If I can go to... Okay, pitch to Reckless Swing. That is a sigh of relief. So we have to take this one. Okay, now let's see if we can reverse engineer the hand. So he has not played his card from Banish Zone this turn, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did not have a Dread Screamer. So he does have access to this Withering Beast Hulk, which will have Dominate if he hits, which he has... It's guaranteed to hit. Which means it's going to be coming in for 8. So we have theoretically 13 damage coming in. I think we just lose here because 13 and we can block effectively 5 and actually have a return. Five is only 9, so we still lose to that strategy. I don't know what the out is here. I don't even know if I'm running sigils or what. My only out is if he doesn't see the Withering Beast Hulk on. That's like literally the only out. If he sees it, he wins. He saw it. Good job. Yep. That was the only out. Because the situation is like I have to give up the whole hand to live at 2. And I can never attack because of Reckless Swing. And they can't die to Blood Debt because they're inconsumed. Like, just can't do it their way. I hate to admit when that's sometimes your only out, but it's just the truth sometimes. Like, it is literally the truth that, like, sometimes when you see it, sometimes the only out is if they don't see it. that is, like, literally, That's literally how. Now that's like a super easy line to see. I mean, I even saw it. I don't even play Levia, but um, yeah, those blood rushes hurt, man. They hurt. They sure do. So I'm going to just chat for a couple more minutes. I don't think we're going to do any more games tonight. Just going to chat for a little bit. If anybody has any questions, like I said, there'll be no stream next week because I'll be in Vegas a little bit early for Nationals. If anybody has any questions, throw them in chat real quick. We'll cover it. It could be about anything. Doesn't matter. Thomas, I would, but I think we're done for the games. I'll be honest with you, chat. I'm still recovering from the Hong Kong thing. Like, we stayed up till like 7:30 in the morning, y'all. And I'm just too old for that, chat. Can't do it. Can't do it. Like 7:30 in the morning when that last game ended. I was hyped on adrenaline because Briar didn't LL, but at the same time, rough. How do you rate Vincent in the meta? I think she's exceptionally okay. I think she is exceptionally okay. And which Bravo build do you think is best? For Bravo, it's an interesting question. I think you need to go farther away from D reacts and more into life gain if you're going to stick with the fatigue. But if you flip the script and go more aggressive and people don't expect it, I think there's a lot of equity to be gained there. That's my thoughts on right now. Everybody that's trying to beat Bravo is trying to revolve their strategy around you having a bunch of D reacts. This is frostbites and making you pay to play your D reacts, which defeats the whole purpose of running them. This could be running Dreadbore, in Azalea, whatever the case. That's what they're trying to hit you with. They're trying to manipulate your defense reactions. So if you can go more toward life gain, there you go. Maybe that's a way. Nathan, you trying to come through and draft? I would love to draft on Wednesday. I mean, I get there in the morning. Sure, let's run it. I'm down. Sorry if you answered this already, but is Lexi your most likely pick? I don't know about most likely, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, chat. I'm at the point right now where I know I'm a good enough player that I know Briar's not the correct decision. I know it's not. But damn it, I can't get rid of it. I don't know. Can't do it. Can't do it. And these next two events are actually super important for me because I'm sitting at 53rd in constructed elo. So I literally need like 4 constructed elo points. Well, you have to factor in like other people will move up due to Nat season, but people will also move down. So I probably need closer to like 10 elo points, which is nothing. Like that's like, you know, a good battle harden is like 10 elo points. So I think I don't think she's a bad decision. I just think she's not like if I want to take down the event, I just don't think that's the correct pick. I just don't. But it'd be like that sometimes. So have an Airbnb for Wednesday. Cool. Who won the Battle Harden in Hong Kong? The Battle Harden, which was Blitz, was won by Xing. And the PTI event, which was CC, was won by Bun. 2 amazing players that have played a lot. Fantastic players. Xing bubbled out at Worlds. I think he got like 10th or something, maybe 15th. Uh, Xing's just a phenomenal player. And then Bun won the first Hong Kong US or first Hong Kong Nationals. He was the one in the amazing Oldham versus Chain match where he was counting the stack. That was Bun. But yeah, if I can shake Briar, Lexi is probably the pick. I just don't know. It's not fun for me to run into a bunch of rogue decks, but it might just be the best deck. It'd be like that. Let's see. What are the reasons to run Viserai right now? In my view, well, the only reason that I can think of to run Viserai in this meta is if you're in a hurry to get to the side events. If you saw like this really good shapeshifter event going on, and it was in like 3 hours, and you knew you were going to get to O3 before that 3 hours, elapsed, then Viserai is the deck for you. No, it's not that bad, but Warmongers, man, like it's rough. It's rough. But if you're trying to speed run side events, Viserai, run it. That's the verdict. They should really do a top 15 country that won the last Worlds. Yeah. But top 50 in the country, then you get into this conversation where, like, what about the countries that have like 50 players? Right? Because what I'm referring to, like, the reason that I'm mentioning top 50 is to get an invite to Worlds, right? That's the so I'm trying to earn my invite to Worlds via classic constructed elo, which is how I got there last year, and trying to secure that. So I just got to be positive 10 elo over the next 2 weeks, and I should be good. 15 to say it's safe. But I got a Battle Harden, a Nationals, and if the Nationals don't go well, I have a whole CC calling to earn those points. So that be the plan. What Dark Horse deck do you actually see making top 8? If somebody can break Prism, I think it's got a good shot. I think there's so many people that have written that deck off and have no idea how to play into it. But if you're looking for something a little bit more mainstream, a lot of people are down on Azalea. I could see an Azalea in top 8. Easy. I could easily see Azalea in top 8. Easy. But I think we're gonna call it there, unless while I'm closing out something pops in chat and I'll answer it. Thanks everybody for joining me. Really do appreciate it. Also, if I see you in Atlanta or Las Vegas, please say hi. Yeah, like I said, no stream on next week because I will be in Vegas Wednesday morning. If anybody wants to make any plans, let me know. I'll try. We have some practice like lined up and stuff, but like I'll try my absolute best. Is there some evidence of the new Prism being good besides the LSS devs say? No. Not that's public. I'll say that. Not that's public. So yeah. That'll be it for the stream. Thanks everybody for showing up. Take care, everybody. And if you're playing in any events over the next 2 weeks, best of luck. Hope I see you there.